I have this recipe for a single cinnamon roll that I pull out of my back pocket in emergencies, and this morning is one of those mornings. So cheers to our first cup of coffee. Let's make this cinnamon roll. I know this feels like a lot of fuss for one single cinnamon roll, and to be honest, it is, but sometimes I like to just baking fuss over myself. But I will warn you, if you have an additional person in your home, you're going to need to double this recipe. You have to make two. A half a cup of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar, 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. We need a pinch of salt. If you use instant yeast, you can add the instant yeast directly to the dry ingredients. If you're using active dry yeast, you need to hydrate it and activate it in 2.5 tablespoons of milk. Either way, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. You know, do that. After about 5 minutes, the yeast will soften and get like fluffy. That's how you know it's alive and ready to go. Then we'll add in 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil. Then wet ingredients to dry. So I'm gonna stir it together into a shaggy dough. Train's coming. This little portion of dough. I'm gonna put this in the bowl that I started in, cover it with plastic wrap, and let it rest for about 10 minutes or so. I like to bake my single serve cinnamon rolls in a 1 cup ramekin. You could use nonstick baking spray, but butter tastes better. 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon, depending on how strong you like your cinnamon flavor. I'm gonna go check on the dough. Admittedly, it is a very short rise time because when I want a cinnamon roll, I want it in a hurry. I want to roll this out into a rectangle that's about 9 inches by 6 inches. Will I be getting a ruler? Yes. Yes, I will. Bring the corners out and then roll 6, 8.5. And we're gonna sprinkle on our filling. We're gonna cut this into 2-inch thick strips. Roll the first strip into a coil. Layer the first spiral and roll. Gorgeous. Loosely wrap it, and I want this to rise for about half an hour, 40 minutes. It needs to get very puffy. It's rested, it's puffy. It's ready for the oven. Here she is. Oh, gorgeous. Here's the trick. We want to add some glaze directly to the top. Worth it. See ya. I have to go wash my hands.